says. Good evening, one and all. Thank you all for coming at such short notice because we only decided to do this a couple of days ago. So as you can see, we have Paul here, the Ink Northerner, Russ, the Retro Bear, Ronaldinho plays, and James. So yeah, we all met up on Sunday and went to the
James Retro Import Gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just James. You gave everybody else an introduction.
Oh yeah,
poor James was,
Well, to be fair,
well spotted, Russ. I was half asleep then.
I looked for his pedal the other day and I realised he'd changed his name.
Well, slightly.
When it Import and Retro Gamer UK or something.
That was months ago.
He's been on holiday 12 times since then.
Fair point.
Have you only just met Al? He's not that sharp, bless him.
Yeah. One time.
Whatever you do, whenever you buy any of them Japanese games, James, get Al to pronounce what they are.
Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, that's got legs, that has.
On Sunday, we all met up at the Birmingham Retro Gaming Market. And as always, we bought a load of tat. As we always do. Even though I'm not meant to be buying much, but I still bought stuff. And probably spent far too much. But yeah. So before we show anything, should we have a little chat about the event, what you thought of it? Because I think after about 1 o'clock, it started dying down a bit, which was a bit of a shame. But it was only a few weeks till Christmas, and it was pretty cold that day. So I'll put it over to you then, Paul. What did you think of it?
I enjoyed it. The highlight of my day for it, though, was Trevor in the queue when the lady asked him where he'd come from, and he said Coventry. So whereabouts in the queue have you come from? And then when she asked if he was our mate, we all went, acquaintance. Yeah, that was fun. The event itself was good. I enjoyed it. It was worth the visit. It's smaller than Birmingham was. Smaller than Donny was, but it's in the centre of Birmingham. What do you expect for it's a city centre? I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was good to meet a lot of people. I initially didn't go to buy half as much as I bought, but I found a lot of stuff that I've been looking for that you don't really see that often. And much better than Leeds. At least you could get in and out of there very easily. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I just want to add that I spent more of the time actually behind people's stalls than walking around in front of it. But it was good. I went there mainly for the social, so it's good to catch up with a few people. We'll get on to who was there in a minute. But Russ, what did you think? It's your local event.
Yeah, I think it's either the third or the fourth one they've done. I think it's, if I can remember, whether it might be the fourth one. I think it's the third time they've done it at that particular venue. I mean, as Paul said, it was good fun. I mean, probably the social side of it was really made it. Having attended the previous ones, I felt it's probably the least busy of those that I've been to. Maybe because it was 3 weeks before Christmas, money's tight for a lot of people and things like that. I don't know, but I didn't seem. I was waiting for a rush to come, and it didn't appear to be. It seemed like a steady trickle. After he got in on the early bird, it seemed to be a steady trickle of people go through. And as you said right at the start, Al, it did seem to get quiet about half one, because we started thinking, well, we better start heading back. And took us 45 minutes to say goodbye to everybody, which was something else. But it didn't seem as busy, but I think people who were there enjoyed it. And having spoken to a few people who were trading there, I think they did okay. I don't think they did as well as they'd done before, but I don't think anybody lost their shirt over it, put it that way. But it was a good day out, good company as well, which we'll get on to. But it was good. It was good.
Yeah, lovely. And what about you then, Rob? Because it was your fault that we all went to this.
Well, it wasn't my fault. It was you not realising it was the day after. You said, you fancy going for Birmingham for a day out on the 3rd of December? And I said, the gaming market's the day after that. But no, I mean, obviously I've got to give you a big thanks, because without you I wouldn't have been able to go. Certainly not as easily. And because for those who don't know, I have the ability to drive, I just don't own a car. But no, honestly, mate, it was a fantastic day out, and obviously I had to keep my attendance under wraps because I wanted to surprise this man up here by turning up, because we've never actually met in person, despite nearly knowing each other for 3 years or so.
That's
So,
it. The strange thing about that, Rob, sorry to interrupt you, but the strange thing about that was because I wasn't expecting to see you standing there. So when I went out the door, I was going to berate Al for being a minute too early. And then I looked at you, and I sort of didn't register. And then I sort of looked at you again and thought, what, bloody hell! I wasn't expecting that. So it was a lovely surprise. It really was. And as you said, it's been 3 years or so, and it was finally just fantastic to meet you. It really was. So,
but yeah, no, that was the highlight, mate. Honestly, and thank you for your hospitality before and afterwards. Mrs. Bear made a cup of coffee. That means the world to me. I love a cup of coffee. So, but yeah, no, it was a really good day out. And I tell you what, obviously London is the one that I go to the most, and London fell kind of at the wrong time for me. It was like a week before the end of the month, and it was just really bad timing for money to be able to enjoy the day out. Whereas this one was kind of perfect. Obviously, it's just after payday. It had a bit of an extra bit of a sort of payout from work as well, sort of in the Christmas build up. So it works out perfectly as well. But in comparison to London, it's definitely a little bit smaller. I wouldn't say massively smaller, but a little bit smaller. I was going to say, I noticed that for about a good hour or so after 12 o'clock, it was a little bit busy, sort of shoulder to shoulder in the narrow aisles, the one in the middle where Dana and Tootie were stalling, and then that little sort of top one in between the two back doors as well was a little bit shoulder to shoulder. But like you said, after sort of from 1 o'clock onwards, it became a bit more comfortable again and died down, and there was still plenty to look at, and just the amount of tubers there as well was unbelievable. More than just obviously us lot there. There was plenty stalling out as well, and it's just great to chat to everybody, and that's what it was all about. And just like everybody else, I said to myself, I've got a budget, I won't go over it, and I went over a bit by about 20 quid. So, but whatever.
when in Birmingham, do what you do. I've just seen a Retro Kits comment there in the chat where he says, "Sorry, mate, I'm unfamiliar with who you are," which was the exact words to Rob, obviously, because Rob's behind the camera, and I said, "Who's this? I'm doing this all day. Who's this? Who's this?" But he got me in, who's this person I brought with me today? And he's like, "Sorry, mate, I'm unfamiliar with who you are."
I was like, ask a question.
Oh dear me.
But no, it's always fun when you meet people for the first time off camera and you approach them without them knowing what you look like, because they either take a while, they don't get it even from my voice straight away, or like some people, James over here did it, they get it after one word, So yeah, it's fun to do that. But I'm running out of people now. I think I've pretty much shown my face to most of the YouTube community that we're within now. There's only a few people left that I'd like to meet and see. So. I'm sure one day it'll happen.
I think your biggest shocker today was Paul.
The fact I was in Bear's house for a whole 2 or 3 minutes, and it was like, oh.
He come over.
It come over I shook your hand. I thought you were just some random mate that Howard brought. when Ross said to Claire, "Do you know who this is?" and you started talking, it clicked. Then it wasn't until Ross said that to Claire.
Because I thought Claire had seen Rob on some of our after chats and what have you. So, but she was not the wiser who Rob was either. So,
just some strange man.
But you were letting strange men into her house.
Not the first time.
And then obviously, then there was you, James. You met us there.
Yeah, I made my own way there. I thought it was really good, to be honest. I had a great day. I think it was really busy initially, but probably like one of you guys said, it was probably the early bird people who went in to start with, made it busy. And then afterwards, it really did quieten down, sort of dinner time onwards, maybe 1 o'clock or so. But I thought it was a great day. There was lots of... there was 3 people there I'd never met before, so it was great to meet them. Some good stalls. There was a bit more import stuff than I'd seen before at the previous one, because I'd only been to one Birmingham before, the last one.
That was May, wasn't it? I think, yeah.
That was May, yeah. And I saw you there, didn't I, Russ?
That's right. That's where we met, wasn't it? Yeah.
And I think that one was busier, and it seemed to stay busier longer than it did the weekend just gone. But overall, I still think it was a great day, and I really enjoyed myself, to be honest. Really great to meet Mr. that way, Mr. Gernaldinho. So yeah, it was
Thank you.
great to put a face to the voice.
And the hands.
And the hands. Yeah, sorry, forgot the hands.
And he sat in the chair as well. No one know. He actually sat in the chair.
I saw him.
No,
Oh yeah, I had to.
No.
I had to.
no one's ever done that before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Although he did start showing his hands to John, and he didn't even know it was.
I think I had to go like that to people so people would know put two and two together.
Yeah, I had a good time there. It was fun. I just want to go over a quick series in the comments. So we've got Gabs here.
Gav.
Claire. Good to see you again. Thanks for the coffee. Ross. Geordie Slasher. Gordon. No Gaming Girly.
I was going to leave my hand here and just go like that.
Retro Kit, the man himself.
John.
And I don't know if this is the actual man or not, but it could be Tony, it could not be, I don't know. We have got Eddie, who we'll get on to later as well. LGG's here. Good to see you. All right, that's everyone. So before we move on, I just want to make Rob full screen for a minute and let Retro Bear do a little plug here.
Oh, that's unsurprising. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Okay. Right. I mean, obviously, I've mentioned it a few times on the old channel, and Rob's been very kind to put this up here. Most of you will know that my other half, Claire, does a lot of repairs and modding and etc. And I mentioned it on my video, which about the Crash live event we did. And as you can see there, we were flyers were on Dana's store, and she's going to go and give it a proper go. So if you've got anything that needs doing, obviously you've got some prices there. The website's under construction at the moment. You can still contact her via email if you've got any work you want doing, mods, repairs, servicing, recapping, all sorts of different systems as well, from your 8-bits to your 16-bits, your consoles, your handhelds. Drop her a line. She'll come back to you and sort of see what you need and see what you can do. But if you can, obviously, give her some support, that'd be really appreciated. It's something she loves doing. I don't think I've ever seen her as happy doing this as anything, really. So I'm really proud of her of living the dream at the moment. So if you'd like to give her some support, that'd be really appreciated. And thank you, Al, and thank you, Rob, for putting that on.
Well, I've had a couple of consoles off her so far, and I've got some more lined up when parts come in. So I can recommend her work.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I know Paul's had a couple of bits as well. So
yeah. So,
I know James has asked us about something as well, which is
yes, I need a repair.
Yep.
We've got one here from Ross. We might have a few projects in the new year.
Yeah, Ross has got one of the McWill Game Gears, which he did with the new screen in it, which he had last year sometime. So a lot of people have within the community have used the services, if that's not a rude way of saying it. But yeah, so word of mouth is a great thing. So if you have had anything done by her, then obviously spread the word. It's great, and support our local businesses. That's what we've been doing this weekend, supporting small local traders and businesses, and if people can continue to do that, it's all good. So
yeah, and you might find her in future events and maybe at a gaming shop. Who knows?
Oh, well, one step at a time, mate. Wow.
Well,
I'm still trying to work out where I'm going to eat Christmas dinner at the moment this year, because I can't eat at the table in the front room, can I?
I can't believe Rob was going to leave without seeing the workshop. That's a must see when you go to Retro Bear's house.
It's an impressive site.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
I know you didn't want me to show you this, Russ, but
I'll never show that. What's it?
But yeah, I picked up this today, so I haven't had a drink. So I'm gonna have a drink out of it. So as there's no numbers on it, I'm gonna have number 1 out of it.
Wouldn't be an hour stream if we were nearly 15 minutes in and he'd not shown a game, would it?
It's kind of gaming related one.
Sorry, did you just say because there's no numbers on it, I'll have to have number 1?
No, I said because I haven't opened any of the numbers yet. I'll have to have number 1.
No, he did say because there's no numbers on it, Rob. He definitely
That's not what I meant, and I haven't even been drinking yet. We've got a deep spiced gin to start with a Stormtrooper on it. So yeah. Oh, we're cracking that open, but yeah. So if anyone does want any work, please do go to
retrorepairbear.co.uk.
That's the one. I couldn't read it, it's too small. I didn't want to make it large again. I have got a flyer somewhere because I picked a couple up from Dana's store. But shall we?
Oh yeah, he's got one.
We quickly talk about what traders were there and what. Well, let's start with the tubers that we bumped into when we was there. So first of all, standing in the queue, we met this man, and he gave us all a card, except from Rob because he didn't know he was coming. I haven't opened it yet, so I'm going to open it live.
The height of entertainment.
This is my first Christmas card. Oh, look at that. There you go. Wishing you both a fantastic 2023. Keep on gaming. Love, Jonathan and... Do I get it wrong now? Melody.
Melody, yeah.
Melody. My arch rival on Fall Guys. So yeah. So obviously we saw John there. Was he was the only other tuber there that was
Trev.
Oh, and Trev. Oh yeah, but who could forget Trev? Weren't you outside the room when it was died down and there was a family of four went to go in, bro?
Yeah, I popped outside for a vape, and Trevor come out there, and we were just talking about stuff, and then they said family of four just turned up, the mum, dad, and two kids, and they wanted to come in, but then they were told it was like £2 to get in, so they decided not to, which again is one of those strange things, Obviously, people at the moment looking to get into things for nothing, and you can't argue with that. But it just seemed very, very strange. £2 and decided not to go in, but that's how it is, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, don't quote me on those prices, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was when I mentioned that in the group. I'm pretty sure it was £4 for the early bird and then £2.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's always been, I think. Even the very first one I did 3 and a bit years ago.
Do you think they'd do better if they made the last hour free to get in?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think the early bird option is there, and it's £2 general entry. I mean, if you're putting on a venue like that, you've got to hire somewhere out. You've got to find somewhere making some money back, haven't you?
Yeah.
You can sell 300-400 early bird tickets and probably, get close to maybe making what it is, and anybody else comes in afterwards at £2 each. Yeah, I think you've got to charge for people to go into these events if they're big enough. And you're hiring out a big venue, say a big venue, it's a decent sized hall. So
at the end of the day, they're putting these events on for us, and they're a business. So they need to make something.
Yeah, and I don't think £2 too much to ask, is it? Really, it's it's an extra free, isn't it? £2.
Well, we saved £2 on the train tickets, didn't we? We got up there,
We don't even pay Paul for that yet. We got them for free. Cheers, Paul.
How do we get the discount? What was the reason for it?
Because it was a multi-pass.
There was 4 of us, and it was a group ticket for 4.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, right, that's what it was.
Yeah, to quote Lulu from that film whose name's just escaped me, it was in my head a second ago.
The Fifth Element.
The Fifth Element, there we go, yes. It was a multi-pass.
I just remembered another tuber that was there I forgot about.
So I turned up to save you £2. Remember that?
Yeah. We saw Dal as well, didn't we? Briefly. I don't know what happened to him. I literally spoke to him for about 2 minutes, and then I never saw him again.
I saw him very briefly, and I spoke to him yesterday, I think it was, and he said he was only there for about an hour because they have to work these things around their little ones, nap times and things, so they weren't there very long. But
if he would have said that to me, I would have had a chat with him. But I thought he was going to be there all day, so I was like, we got the early bird. I need to get around quick before everyone buys anything to have a look, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. And then I never saw him again.
Well, I saw Natasha, his wife, afterwards, and she said, "I've lost Dale." I said, "Well, he must be here somewhere." I think they found each other afterwards, so that was all right.
I was right next to him in the queue. I spoke to him for about 20 minutes, but after we went in, I never saw him again.
That was the thing. As soon as we got in there, we all split up, didn't we? And that was it. Last time I saw Ali was standing by Dana's store. I'm pretty sure he nearly sold him. I thought he'd sold him at one point. But yeah, just stood there as some sort of random second item that he didn't want. But yeah, I was trying to find James. I thought one person I didn't see was James. I walked around for about 15 minutes trying to find you. And eventually found it. I eventually found it by Eddie's store. So
That's right.
yeah, because I had those games for you. I thought I've got to find him to give him these games. And I walked around 2 or 3 times. I couldn't find him anywhere.
Right.
Let's talk about Eddie, because this was his first event. Him and Dylan. We tried to get him on to talk about it from a seller point of view. I tried to get Dana on, but both of them were too important for us, so they didn't bother. But yeah, so first when we walked in, the first person we saw there was Lewis. Lewis and his missus Amanda. Next to him was Craig's here again, who had most of my money that day. So Dana and Liam for once. I think that's more times I've seen him at events than he's been in the shop, but that's another story. It was good to see him again. They had their little row together, didn't they? Had Rich King Retro there in the middle.
Oh, Richie's always there. I think he's done every single Birmingham one so far. I always end up buying something from him.
Do you?
Yeah, I've done it again. I think, yeah, every single time, and he's had something off. I've had something off him. So
I've given up asking him when he's coming back on YouTube, because he's never coming back now. That's it. And then he was next to Stu and Rob. And then there was one other surprise, because I was just walking around, minding my own business, looking at someone's stall, and I hear, "Oh, all right, Al." Thought, who the hell's that? Looked up, Jimmy Retro of all people. First time I met him. Another guy that's gone quiet on the tubes. But I think he had a good day. So he even knew who Paul was, and Paul was saying, "There's no way he's going to know me."
There were other tubers there as well that, like Rob said, that that were separate from us. I think we all saw the Jebs. She was there. We were misses.
I saw Dylan shoulder barge out the way.
He did say he said excuse me, but I don't think he did. But he stood there. I think there was a guy walking around with I think he was Polish, with a phone on a gimbal, and he was doing interviews and stuff with people. So I think he may be a bigger foreign language channel for other, even though we're in Britain, there are other languages that get spoken in the UK. But yeah, I think
apparently he was German.
Oh, fair enough, German
tuber.
You should have got Al to pronounce some things in German. That'd been quite good.
But I think I'm going to be in the Gev's video. I'll tell you, someone who is in her video for a very long time was Bob. Because she filmed him showing every sign that he'd brought with him. Craig
would have been in her video because she likes Craig, doesn't she?
Yeah, and I was standing next to him at the time, so that's why I reckon I'm going to be in it as well. So yeah. So overall, we've met a few people, see some people I've not seen before. Rob got to surprise a few people. And we all picked up some tat. So let's get on to the pickups finally, because I think 23 minutes and 30 seconds, Mark has the record now. Got to get that in there. A little bit of banter going on. But yeah. So the first one, I haven't got much to show, so I'm showing it anyway. Technically didn't come from the event. It was a gift from Paul that I forgot all about, so I'm claiming it as an event gift. For the PS1, he gifted me Moto Racer 2. So yeah, knowing me, it has to be all fully complete. And Paul kept it in good condition. By the way, he didn't want this one. Looks a good game.
It's not very good at all. It's horrible.
It's a PS1 racing game. It's got to be good.
It controls like a bar of soap. It's a shocker.
Don't tell me you've played it.
Yeah, well, it's one of the very few games I have played. Yes, because like you, I like racing games, and I thought I've had this for ages. I'll stick it on. It's bloody rubbish.
Well, I haven't put it on yet, so I'll find out when I get to it. So yeah, that was my first pickup, because I haven't got many. So what did you get then, Paul? And who from?
Oh, so I'm going to go through the ones that I don't remember where I got them from or know the stalls. So I went to the one stall and I picked something up. In fact, I'll do these 4 together because these are all ones that I don't know who I picked them up from. First one I went to, I saw a copy of Cabela's Dangerous Hunts on the original Xbox. It's fully complete. Everything's in it. I'm not going to show every game complete. I'm not a big hunting game fan, but it was one that I think I've got the ones that are backwards compatible on the 360. So yeah, okay. And then one that you don't see around that often, I picked up a copy of Circus Maximus. It is exactly what it says on the tin. It's a kind of a co-op sort of fighting racer. You can play single player. It doesn't have to be co-op, but it's set in Rome. So I then went to another stall, and I think Bert met me at this other stall, or he saw me when I came away from it, and I picked up a copy of Worms Forts Under Siege. Now this is fine. I opened it up, took it out of its baggie because it was in like a shrink wrap baggie. It's just got a few fingerprint marks on it, but the disc is fine. And then in my excitement, because this is one that generally every time I try to get it, it either has no manual or is out of stock in CEX, and I've not seen it anywhere else. With all the road trips we've been on and everything, I haven't seen it. And I picked up this copy of Classified Sentinel Crisis. Now, when I opened it, I looked at it, and in the light, I thought, you know what, it is a bit scratched, but I'll take it to the guys at my local CEX who are pretty good with me, and they'll get them to run it through the cleaner, and it should be fine. But then when I got home and I was looking at it, I held it up to the light. There are deep gouges in it to the point where the colours come out of it. You can see through it. So I don't even think putting it through a cleaner is going to do any good for it. Bonuses, I'll try and find the disc on eBay, and I've got the case and manual, but it's just a bit of a schoolboy error. Al knows I'm prone to making them. I think he stopped me buying an American game 3 or 4 times. But yeah, I should have checked it there and then. But it is what it is. It's the risk that you run with these things. The guy had them in baggies that were like cling film, but they were actual baggies as well. So I don't know. I shouldn't have just blindly done it, but I did. Schoolboy error. Yeah, I'll leave that for now because I'll go through these ones. These are ones that I know where I picked them up from, and I can say the names of the people.
You didn't want them American games then?
I wanted the American games, but I wanted them PAL.
It was funny watching you go through your bag afterwards to make sure you hadn't picked up any American ones.
It's not the first time I've done it. It won't be the last.
All right, over to you then, Russ.
Right, yeah. So I'll show you what I got from Eddie. I picked up 2 games from Eddie because he was trying to get me to buy a more expensive game, so I got my own back and bought 2 of his cheaper ones. But one I've never seen before, and one I've wanted to get for quite some time. So the one I've never heard of before, which is Skate City Heroes. I've never heard of that one before.
I've never seen that before either, Bruce.
No, it is what it is. It's a skating game, obviously, and obviously typical of Eddie to have a skating game on board. There's the front as well, in case anybody missed it. But yeah, it's balance ball compatible and it's all complete, which you'd expect.
That's got to be scarce, that one, I think.
Not the price he had it at. I wouldn't have thought. Yeah, it was. I won't say what I paid for it, but it was, on the cheap side, put it that way. Okay. But the other one I got, which I've been after for ages, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to pull the trigger on this one finally. And this is Pac-Man Party, which I've been after for ages. I've just noticed it says the word poster included.
Did you get one?
And it's there.
Oh,
it's a Pac-Man Namco 30th anniversary poster inside as well. Doesn't look like it's been opened, lovely condition. So it's a Pac-Man party game. what else would you expect with a title called Pac-Man Party? But yes, I was really happy to get that one because I saw that priced at least 2 or 3 times elsewhere, a little bit more as well. So I'm not saying I didn't do Eddie a disservice, but again, it pays to go to these places and shop around. Don't buy the first thing you come across. You might find it slightly cheaper somewhere else. But yeah, so I was happy with them too, and that probably takes me reasonably close to 700 Wii games now. I just got to spend the time counting them up.
700.
Yeah, I know.
700.
One question I do have for you there is,
yes,
how much swearing have you been doing to all your swear jar £11?
But once a month so far. It's 1 a month, isn't it? Yeah. No, the old totals on £11. I don't know how we're going to. I'm going to try my best to get it to 15 if I can, because I'd like something of a nice round money. If people don't know what that's there for, at the end of the year, I'm going to whatever's in there. I'm going to run a little city competition and give somebody whatever's there of my own money, so you can go and do what you want with it. Buy food, pay your eating bills, buy some games with it. Probably, I don't know. So
nothing at the moment because I shook it. There was nothing in there.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's nothing in there. Yeah, obviously, it's like a really crap totalizer. You know what I mean? So
It does say IOU next to it, Al. Think about it.
yeah. He thought he said Lou. That's probably what it was.
I thought there would be some in there already, and then he owes another 11 on top, but there was absolutely nothing in it.
No, there's nothing in it now.
The legend from Coventry's in the chat.
He's here.
It's Trev. Right, Trev.
Oh, and Ads has sneaked in as well.
Oh, Adam, good evening. Lovely to meet you a few weeks ago, Adam. I will say that. So,
He's one I've not met yet, so you're one up on me at the moment.
yeah, I was so surprised when he turned up at the Spectrum event. I wouldn't expect to see him at all, but yeah, lovely bloke. Pleasure spending a lot of time with him that day.
Lovely. So over to you then, Rob.
Right, I'll start off with. I've got quite a few from Tootie. I did actually pick up some I haven't got, despite picking up 2 I have got. But yeah, no, bit excited. I went straight in and saw 2 on the counter, but one of them I had. So, but this is the one that I didn't have. I've already moved the other one on somewhere, perhaps, maybe. But yeah, no. Funny enough, I bought games from him. The very first person I bought something from, and the last person I bought something from, because these one there were a few on his counter, but I didn't notice there was another box down the side. So I raided that box down the side as well and picked up 3 more, all green cases, of course. The other Fallout add-on pack, which I don't have, there's 2 now. I've got both, so I've got that one. Obviously, nice and complete as well. Not an uncommon one at all that I've been missing for a while in Chrome Hounds. So yeah, going to nab that one as well. Interested about that is out of all the achievements that are on this game, you can only get one of them, and that's for finishing the tutorial. All the others are online, but it's discontinued and the server ain't running anymore. And I also picked up this in my haste as well. Despite the fact I've got a list on my phone, I was checking all day. Every time I went to it, still I didn't bother. But yeah, I've already got this, but I think mine's missing the manual, so that will come out of that one and get that complete, or I'll just swap it over for that one if it's a little bit in better nick. That was everything from Toti. I'll show you the one game I got from Lewis. It's the only time non-Xbox stuff's going to appear. And after talking for a while, I noticed he had a few Game Gear games just sort of sat within arm's reach while I was talking to him behind the stall. And I was going through them, and he went, "Oh, you like wrestling, don't you?" And I went, "Yeah." He says, "You've got that one?" And I said, "No." And he basically sorted us out with this. So yeah, I got that off Lewis as well. So I've got a couple of other games off Tubers, but I think we'll call it that for now, and I'll do a few more in the next round. But yeah, that's the one Game Gear game.
The one. Can everyone speak clearly for Ross? He's come to the wrong channel for this, but yeah. So over to you then, James.
Righto. Well, the first thing I picked up in brackets is a kind donation off Russ, which was a nice bundle of Spectrum games. So we've got Power Drift, Hit Squad, obviously. We've got Match Day 2. I used to love Match Day back in the day, but you play it now, it's not great, is it?
It's terrible.
And then we've got Daley Thompson's Super Test, an all-time classic, the original anyway. This is still good, but I think Decathlon was possibly better. And then we've got Rambo 3, which I don't think I've played on the Spectrum, actually.
It's pretty good game, that one.
Is he? Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't tried any of these yet, unfortunately. I haven't had time today. Chase HQ, which is brilliant on the Spectrum.
One of the best.
And we've got Paperboy, which I don't think I've played since I had it back in the day on the Spectrum. So I'm looking forward to trying that. And then we've got the mighty Space Harrier. Again, I don't think I've played this since back in the day. And I remember it being alright on the Specky. So I'm hoping it's still decent.
I'd be interested to see how Paperboy plays on the Spectrum. It's one of my favourite NES games. Even though I'm not very good at it, it's still very enjoyable.
Yeah, I remember it being really good. It's monochrome. It's monochrome blue and black graphics.
Right.
If you can make that out, I don't know if you can.
Yeah, it's similar to the NES. Looking at those,
It's. I remember it being really not bad at all at the time, but I don't know how age was. If it's been kind to it or not. I don't know.
I see you managed to get that label off that. Was it Chase HQ that was a label on the front of it?
Oh, yeah.
That sticker, you managed to get that off, yeah.
Yeah, I got that off all right. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I spent a couple of hours yesterday getting all the stickers off these. But yeah, thanks, Russ. No, really appreciate that, mate. Really kind of you.
No, you're very welcome. It's what we call the Retro Bear Spectrum Starter Collection.
It's very good. And I'm not going to start collecting Hit Squad, of course.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I thought you was going for
I've got a start of about 5 there, so we're on the way.
That's how Russ started. He's got about 100 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got, probably 100 across all 3 8-bit systems, yeah.
speak to that man over Russ's shoulder. He's definitely a Hit Squad man.
Yes.
You've made Adam happy anyway. There's a lot of exclamation marks.
Well, Joe's put nice Spectrum game. Joe's got a Spectrum now. She's getting well into that.
Oh yeah, I see her video on that.
I haven't watched it. I've got to sit down and watch that because I really want to see what she's got, because when she showed that off, I was like, wow, there's some really good stuff in there, and she really gets into it. So,
Right, I'm just looking for door number 2 to start round number 2, but I can't seem to find it.
Right, I'm splitting mine up to 1 game per round if you're drinking 1 per round, mate.
This one might be an hard one to open. It's got some sort of wax around it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm waiting for it to
I'll open 1 per round, but.
Have you bought that calendar just for this stream then, Al? Are you going to get through it all tonight?
No, I bought it, but obviously it actually turned up on the 3rd, but it went round to my dad's, and I ain't been round to see him yet until today. I went round there the other day and he weren't in. So, and he's just got a new front door and he ain't given me a key yet, which was annoying because I couldn't get it.
There's probably a reason for that.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not an accident, mate.
So on to me then. I'll show my next game, which I've got off of Jimmy Retro, James, and his lovely missus that was there. Stalled him out for the first time I've seen him doing an event. And it's for my Pokemon collection. I have picked up a copy of Pokemon Diamond version, the original one. Not fake like the one I had before. It actually has a real manual in it, not just one that says Diamond on it. And the cover isn't grey like the other one. So, yeah, another Pokemon game to add to the collection. I didn't think I was going to get any at this event, and I spotted it, and he's done me a good price on it. So, yes, if you're watching this, Jimmy, I know you do. Thank you for that. So, yeah, on to Paul.
So, I bought 1 game from Hidden Chest Gaming, who are at Unit A, Wedgbury Way, Brierley Hill, DY5 EU. Telephone number 01384 261 534.
24-hour-a-day hotline, yeah.
Hidden Chest on all social medias for most things. But Hidden Chest Gaming on all social medias, and hiddenchest.co.uk. I actually picked up a copy of the Togi 2. Now, I owned this, but it had no manual. And I picked it up. And I was in... when I picked it up out of the box, because it was in the box, Liam said to me, I've been saving that for you at the shop. I'm like, yeah, but you're never there when I go. So I can't get it from you. So I've now got a full copy of Attorney 2, which me and Griffo have been sort of joking with each other to see who would get the manual first. So as soon as I picked it up, I had to take a picture and send it to him in the group. But with my non-manual copy of Attorney 2, I've traded that in at CEX and picked up 3 PlayStation 4 games and an Xbox One game. So
don't tell Mark.
Oh, I do. No. I'll do two different sellers this time, and then we'll move on from me. So, one of my favourite gaming shops, and it's just as well that we didn't decide to meet up in and around Russ's area because he's actually closed and he's due to reopen this week. Did he say
13th week today?
Week today.
Yeah.
So that's Vintage Gamer. So I went. He had this priced at 25, and I was like, I wanted this as well. So I made sure I picked them up. So all the original Xbox games were down one end, and Nick was right at the other end. So I picked these up out of the original Xbox thing, and I was walking along with it to make sure that they didn't think I was just nicking them. And I went to Nick and said, "Look, what can you do on them?" And he said, "Well, look, you give me 25 for that, I'll chuck that in for free." So yeah, I think it works out better than CEX by about £4 or £5. You always get a good deal from Nick, and the more you buy, the better deal you get. Just unfortunately, he didn't have anything else that I wanted. Well, he did. He had one American game, and I spotted that it was NTSC this time. I went and didn't buy it. That's it from those two sellers. Because there was one game I was going to buy from Dana, but he forgot to take it. So I'm going to pick it up when I can eventually drive again in the new year, along with some other bits and pieces that the Retro Bear Repair is going to be doing as well.
Yeah, I've got to go and pick something up as well from Retro Bear Repair. Tongue twister, that one.
Retro Repair Bear.
Retro Repair Bear.
Retro Repair Bear.
.co.uk.
Bear in mind, with my northern accent, repair becomes bear and repair sound very, very similar.
Got Addy Sneaker Freak has popped in, who done one video a few months ago and not done another one since. First one in 2 years, and then hid away again. But yeah, it was good to see Nick. I'm hoping he's doing his shop at the moment that it doesn't lose its charm.
Yeah,
I know he can display a lot more stuff. So I like the hunt. So hopefully he doesn't take that away from it.
And he keeps the 8-bit stuff out of the way for I can get at it.
keeps
you were the one that wanted him to put all the 8-bit stuff on display.
I've changed my mind slightly. I don't want anybody else going in there and getting it.
What you could do is he keeps it all to the side for you, and you look through it, and all the ones you don't want, you can put them ones out.
That would be good, but I don't think that'll be the case. But anyway.
All right. Anyway, on to you then, Russ.
Well, as we're talking about 8-bit, I'll do the 2 8-bit games I've picked up. Try and do. We mentioned Rich King Retro earlier. Like I said, I've always managed to end up buying something from his store. And I've seen this on eBay a few times, and I thought this is really weird. But I thought, no, it is right. It does look correct, and I have checked it out since then, and it is absolutely right. So what I've got here for the Commodore 64, which is quite weird, we got Double Dragon 3, the Rosetta Stone, but it's a double pack with Rodland, which is one of my favourite platform games. Now, it is as it is. The box on the front is Double Dragon, and the box underneath is Rodland, as you can see there. So, but it was marketed like this, and I've seen there's copies on eBay for the Amiga, the ST, the Spectrum. So it's really strange, and I must admit I did doubt it when I got home because I thought, well, that's the Rodland tape, and then that's usually you expect these tapes to look the same, but this one's Double Dragon, slightly different. But it is the correct set, and there was also in here as well, which I think might be a mistake. There's actually a head cleaner as well for your tape machine, which would be quite good as well. But I paid a tenner for that, and I think, given the going rate, it wasn't a bad price at all. Rodland's I used to Rodland on the Amiga was one of my favourites. I managed to get hold of it in a backup from Dana, which is good because I remember playing that really well. Never played Double Dragon 3, so I'll be interested to see how that is. And Eddie's already I'd love a full fat Rodland one day.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm maybe talking about the same. We talked about the same game. I don't know. And then the other one I picked up, which is the other 8-bit game I got. And I saw this last market was on in May, I think we said earlier, and I didn't pick it up at the time because I couldn't justify spending the 12 quid on it. I thought, well, hoping when I go there they'll have it again. It was Console Passion, and lo and behold, they'd still got it. Wouldn't knock me any money off, but that's I'm trying to get it for a tenner, you know. But by the by, and I've only really bought it for one game, but it's not one you see a great deal of. And it's called TNT 2. So you got Hydra Thunder, Badlands, Stun Runner, Escape from the Planet of the Robot Monsters. But the game I really wanted it for was Skull and Crossbones, which was quite a late release. I think it's an arcade conversion. And individually, I think you pay about 15 quid for it. If you want the Hit Squad version, get your wallets out because it's going to be an awful lot more money than that. All the tapes are in there. There's no instructions, sadly, apart from a game called Blue Max, which James may remember. I don't know, but it's the wrong instructions to the wrong game. But all the tapes are in there as well. No. You don't remember that one? No. I think I think it might be Generation Pixel who's played Blue Max recently. But there's a screenshot at the back. But yeah, I paid 12 quid for that one, but it's not one you see a great deal of, and it's in actually pretty good nick. If Mr. Bad's watching, there's a nice glare off that because I know we compare glares on these compilations. There we go, nice shiny effect to it. But yeah, I was really pleased to get that one. I've been looking on eBay for it, and you just don't see it a huge amount. So more than I usually like pay about 5 quid for the compilations, but you know, when in Birmingham, why not?
I don't think £12 too bad for that, really.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, Escape from the Planet of the Robot Monsters is one of my favourite games anyway. Badlands I really enjoy. Stun Run and Hydra Thunder are really going to suffer in terms of conversion to Commodore 64. But like I said, Skull and Crossbones really was the attraction in that one. So,
well, we've got a couple more people sneaked in. So we've got Steve here, Cooper's World. He's watching live on the TV while wrapping presents. So be quiet in the comments. And we've got another Steve, Retro Red Steve. I think he's still recovering from the World Cup at the moment.
Steve.
He's had a few days to recover from that, hasn't he? There's other teams have been playing.
Eddie said the single Rodland release seems rare, so we'll see that on one of Betty Allclinic's videos soon.
He's right. I mean, for the Commodore 64 version, certainly you're probably looking at least 15, 20 quid. It's not a cheap. Even the Amiga version is about 20 quid. So I was trying to buy a copy of it, and I thought that's just a bit too much just for buying one game, you know. So.
All right. Over to Rob. Look, he's itching. Look at that. The hands are ready to go.
My way of letting you know I'm there because, you know, all that shit. Right. I haven't shown the ones that you gave us in the car, Al. Obviously, it's kind of part of the day, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, you very kindly give us Sims 3 and Lego Movie video game. Do you know what? This one has been avoiding me, I think, because I've had this game twice already. Both times in bundles. One time it had really nasty ring burn, and the other time it was just scratched to fuck. So, you know, it's nice to actually have. I think one was missing a manual as well as those, so it's nice to finally actually have it done. And it's, you know, I don't really care for the Sims, to be honest with you, but it used to hold some value. It's dropped down quite a bit, but you know, as I say, mate, nice to have it. So thank you very much. I'm gonna have to show this because this is awesome. I love this. Everyone knows I love me Aura, and Al very kindly. I believe you took this out of a game before you gave it to CEX poster for Friday 13th. The game.
I haven't taken it in yet, but yeah, I'll CEX having it. I'll give it to Rob.
Yeah, not that it's going to fit on my tiny little screen, but there you go. So
that's good.
That's nice.
So that would I've got horror movie posters up in my flat, so that will go up somewhere. But I haven't found a home for it just yet. If we're going to finish off showing stuff from Tubers, then this was towards the end of the day as well. I actually noticed off Jimmy Retro store. I actually went up to his stall early in the day and didn't realise it was him because I mean he had a hat on and it was just kind of I don't know. I think he had his head down or something. I didn't realise it was him. It was only how pointed out later. So I went back to his stall and ended up getting this because I actually got my list out and typed to see if I had this, and I've got this game, but with the word burst missing at the end. And we worked it out. It does actually work out. It's a different game. I mean, it's not a lot of money anyway. But when Jimmy said, "Oh yeah, it's got the cards in it and they're still sealed," I was like, "Do you know what? Even if I have got it, that's a selling point right there. I'll absolutely take that." So I mean, there's loads of these, and they've all got sort of really long names, really similar, and yeah, they're a bit of a mind fuck for me to keep on top of. But yeah, no, quite pleased to pick that up for cheap. I'll show one more in this round because this come from Vintage Game, and I think we've mentioned them before. And I thought, well, if you're with the bear, you got to buy a fishing game, haven't you? So what was it? Yeah, it was only like £4, and yeah, it come with a manual and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, you were actually standing next to us at the time as well, weren't you? So
I was, yep.
Yeah. And the other ironic thing is we've got a little Xbox group with a few of us, and we were just talking about the Rapala games because, just how happened to mention that someone's got the Connect one in stock, which is a little bit rarer. And then Connect one's the only one I've got, and I actually thought there was only one of these, green case sort of. No, it turns out there's 3 of them. So, you're still learning, even though you're going for a full set sometimes. But yeah, £4 that one off older Vintage Gamer. And
So,
wait.
did you want to show something else?
No, I'll wait till next time round.
I was going to say, Ross says you need to get a frame for that.
That needs a frame. Yeah, I'm just like... Well, the trouble is because I rent, I'm not allowed to put holes in walls, so I can't hang it up.
Yeah.
So I could stick it up as opposed to a blue tack, basically, and that's about it.
And Scott's in. Say good something, lad. Good to see you, Scott. So yeah, on to James. Is this the Japanese round, or are you saving that to the end after I've had a few more gins?
Well, I can do that if you prefer, Al.
I could do it later on after I've had some more gins. It's up to you.
Well, we'll mix it up. We'll do a few now, we'll do a few later. So, after I saw Russ, I walked around the place mainly to see what was there before I bought anything. But then the first stuff I actually bought was off Eddie's store. And the first one I've got is Major Minor's Majestic March.
Oh, I got that. Maybe
you should say that after a few gins, Al.
Majestic March. Oh.
He should play it after a few gins.
Or maybe that, yeah. No, it's supposed to be terrible, this. I've not tried it.
It looks
So what M words can we throw together and make a game out of?
Yeah, well, I believe it's something to do with that Major Minor electric organ from the 80s.
Nah.
No?
No.
I must have dreamt that then. I thought I'd read that somewhere.
I'll tell you about it when you finish showing off what you got.
Oh, all right then. Okay. So, also off Eddie, I've picked up the final round, which is a PS1 golf game.
Oh, nice.
I remember playing this back in the day, and it was good at the time. So I don't know if it's aged very well, but it still looks decent on the box. And then I've got Vanishing Point on the Dreamcast. That PS1 was American, and this one's American as well. Don't think I've ever played this one, but you can get it, pal, if you want it. And then we've got two more for the PS1. We've got Die Hard Trilogy 1 and 2.
I didn't realise there was a second one.
No, I didn't know that.
I've never played the second one, but the first one I bought mainly because of the light gun game. It's number 2, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, Die Hard 2.
Yes, that's the main reason I bought that. So I don't know actually if Die Hard 2 is split in the same way, and there's a light gun game on that as well. I don't know. So I'm interested to try that. And then I've also got Croc 2. Again, for the American PlayStation. And then we've got 2 more. We've got another Dreamcast, Pen Tri-Isolon, which I think was a launch game, if I remember rightly. I think it's brilliant. It's kind of a really mad Japanese, you control these like penguin dudes, and it's basically a racing game like Mario Kart, only you're running and swimming. Brilliant game. And then the last one I've got is Zuzar Vazar for the Japanese Dreamcast. and this is kind of like, it's a bit weird. It's like a futuristic chariot racing game. Really strange.
Sounds good.
But it's alright. I've played it on emulation and it seemed alright, so I thought I'll take a chance and be able to play it properly on the Dreamcast. And that's it, off Eddie.
Yeah. I can also confirm that they've got a PAL release as well.
Ah, right.
I've never seen the second one. Honestly, no. I own the first one.
I think it's pretty cheap as well. I think it's only about £5.
Just never seen it. I've never been looking for it, so maybe I have seen it. And
I don't think I played the second one. I played the first one, but I don't remember ever playing the second one. So maybe I'll give it a try one day.
So going back to Major Minor's Majestical March,
Oh, yeah.
just to give you a bit of background information on that. I think it was by the guy who developed Parappa the Rapper.
Okay.
And it turned out to be a complete cock up from start to finish. But literally, you spend your entire game with the Wii remote in your hand going like that.
Oh, right.
Yeah, which I'm sure we're all familiar with, well, most of us anyway. And that's what it is, because it's like a marching band game, so you got to move your marching, and that's what it is. It's meant to be absolutely terrible. I remember when I bought it about 5-6 years ago, because it was by the same guy. There's this will become quite rare and collectible. No, it's not. It's not at all. you can buy it for very, very little, and there's no gameplay to it whatsoever.
There's also no refund.
Oh, that's a blow, isn't it?
Eddie's warranty is until you leave his stall anyway. So
we've got Dunk who's going to watch it later. So when you see this later, Dunk, hello.
Hello, Dunk.
And Stu's popped in as well. Generation Pixel.
The man himself. Yeah. Does he need any instructions for Blue Max? Just out of interest, Stu, if you're still watching, do you need instructions for Blue Max? I have instructions.
There you go. Question for you, Stu. We've also got another question from Gordon. When are you boys doing the Scotland road trip that we keep talking about and never do? I'm leaving it down to you, Paul.
If Gordon can give me some shop names that I can pick out, we can do it. I'm going to be off the road for at least a month in January because I've got to have shoulder surgery. But after that,
it's cold out there. I want to go in the summer.
Well, we could probably do sort of April, May time. I might have my new car then, and I can drive everybody around.
Sounds good. The man, the myth, the legend has come in as well. Thanks, though. It looks like he hasn't bought anything today. It was rubbish.
oh yeah,
Can you say that again, Paul, and show his leaflet, maybe?
Well, yeah. So the Retro Repair Bear, the drop-off point is Hidden Chest Gaming, Unit A, Wedgbury Way, Brierley Hill, DY5 3JU. If you do want to get in touch with the Retro Repair Bear, it's Claire at retrorepairbear.co.uk. That's repair as in fixing things and bear as in the animal. Bear with my stupid northern accent.
I love the impression, mate. Do that again.
To be fair, I could have just picked this up, couldn't I?
Yeah.
He's a bit lazy, though. You've got to tell us his opening times.
Oh, I don't know when he's opening times. I'm not on this anymore. He opened Friday and
Saturday, 12 till 6.
Yeah, he doesn't open till midday because he needs a lay-in. And he shuts at 6 because he needs to go out on the piss.
But yes, for all your gaming needs in and around the Brierley Hill area, you have Hidden Chest Gaming as well as other shops around there. But Hidden Chest is a very good gaming shop to visit. Soon to get expanded slightly, I believe.
And retro collectors moving in.
Yes.
With all his 8 and 16-bit stuff, James.
Which I believe is going to
Sounds exciting, Russ.
I'm very excited.
Yes, I can't wait to get down there.
If I remember correctly, he's doing it soon and opening up around the middle of January time.
6th, 7th and 8th of January, which is a Friday, Saturday and Sunday.
Early January, there you go. You know more than me.
I'm there most weekends, that's what I do.
We know. Normally looking for a bargain bit.
He ain't got one yet. I'm still waiting for it to.
He'll have one soon. Right, on to me then. So I picked up something from a tuber who, if you stand around his stall long enough, you end up buying something. So it was from Eddie, and we was just looking there, and we was picking up games we didn't even know was on the system. There were some weird titles on there, and I just so happened to see this game, and I'm like, I've been after this one for a while, and Eddie just had it there, and I thought, you know what, today's the day I pull the trigger. So for the PlayStation 2, all the way from Eddie, Roller X Core, otherwise known as just Roller Core with a silent X, we have Johnny Bravo.
Oh man,
That looks a classic.
The Hucker Mega Mighty Ultra Extreme Datorama. And this is actually quite a hard one to get. Even being a blast game, this is not an easy one to find and not a cheap one to find. So it is literally like a weird party style game. So I had to have it. And who knows, I'll make a video on it soon because who doesn't want to be Johnny Bravo?
I used to love that cartoon. I used to love that. That's
I
a
didn't
nice
well.
one.
That's why I had to get it.
That's a
Yeah.
nice one, and I'm jealous of that one. I really am.
Yeah, I just see it there and I was like, you know what, that's one you never see around. And being off Eddie, I knocked him down as well.
You didn't even
Made have
pay
pulled it out.
Dylan.
Yeah, it was actually. Rob was just sticking through. He went, Johnny Bravo. I'm like, whoa, I need that. He did it. I actually saved him some money though because he had a game listed for less money on his stall than CEX would give him cash. And I said to him, you do realise you get more for this in CEX in cash, don't you? And he was like, whoa, and he put that to back. So he's going to take that in and get a bit more extra money for it. So, but he did also have another game for me, which we agreed in the WhatsApp group the night before, and he forgot to bring it. So he's having to post that out. So that'll be in a later pickups video. Maybe he just wanted to plug twice. You see, that's what it was. But if you do want to go and buy anything off him, and a few of the other people, Stu and Rob especially as well, they're doing the Nottingham Gaming Market on the. Well, Eddie was going to do the 18th, but I believe he's trying to swap it to the 17th now. After we told him the World Cup final was on the 18th.
I don't think he can swap it to the 18th.
No, I don't think he can either. No.
Oh no, I don't think it's going to be very busy on the 18th. I think Saturday was the day to go.
Guess
Depends
it
if
depends if England get there or not.
Exactly.
If England are playing on the Saturday, there's going to be no one there on the Saturday either, so it could just be a dead event. Who knows?
I hope not. I
I hope not as well, because you like to see these events take off, because if they do take off, it means they're going to do another one, which I was quite shocked about, because we had Milton Keynes just up the road, and it was a lovely venue, great event, and then they've not done one since, and that was... I know that was the start of 2020, and obviously we had what happened, but yeah, I still would have thought they would have done another one by now, but I
guess
believe
logistics and stuff.
I believe it's moving somewhere else, just up the road a bit more. So we're waiting for the dates to be announced. But yeah, that was what I got off of Eddie. So on to Paul for some more green spine.
So it's not all green spine, believe it or not. So I visited Craig's Here Again's stall, and I was talking to him as well, and I looked through his original Xbox, and he had a copy of Flat Out 2 at £6. This is a PAL copy as well. And I have the first one, and I didn't have the second one, so I picked the second one up.
Really good games then.
This is one it's another one of these that keeps coming in and out of stock at CEX. And when CEX generally only have one or two copies, I don't want to order them because you guarantee that they won't have manuals. So I picked up a copy of Sega Soccer Slam. It's my kind of football game, really, a bit like Red Card. You get to absolutely annihilate your opponents. So yeah, it's kind of a mix of football and wrestling. And then when I went back to, I kept going flitting kind of after I thought I'd finished buying and I kept flitting between sort of Dana's stall and then going and talking to Stu and Rob, and then back talking to Eddie and Dylan. We were all stood around Eddie's stall at one point, and I picked a game up out of Eddie's box just to have a look at what was on it. And Dylan said, "Did you know that Craig has that on the Xbox?" I'm like, "What?" So yeah, I was like, right, I better go back to Craig's stall now then and pick it up. So I went back to Craig's stall and I was talking to him. It was like, "Dylan tells me you've got a copy of this game on the original Xbox." He went, "Yeah, I do." And he was looking for it and he couldn't find it. And it turns out he'd not put it out. He hadn't had a chance to put it out. And that's Namco Museum 50th anniversary. It's another one of them. It's not a cheap game to get hold of on the original Xbox. I did well with Craig. He gave me a fair price. And then when I was there, I spotted 2 other games. They're on my list to buy, so I'll do it. So I picked up Narc, which is I think Russ, you established it's a remake of the original arcade.
I think it is. It's actually got a copy. It's actually got a version of the original arcade somewhere in it. I think if you look at the bottom right hand, the original Midway arcade game. So
I think this is another one of them that CX price is quite low, but it's out of stock. Or if they get 1 or 2 in again, it's another one of them that there's never any manuals with. And the last one I got was Final Fight Streetwise. So yeah, in total, I think there would have been 76, and Craig did me for 60. So excellent deal from Craig. So yeah, I think Craig's the one that I spent most of my money with. Although I have arranged future business with Dana. So yeah, that's it from Craig's here again. I've got 1 more left to go around.
I may also be showing some stuff from Craig's here again in a minute, which he's a very good salesman, should I say, is Craig.
He's such a nice guy, though.
Yeah, you shouldn't go and stand behind his stall for too long, because he starts asking you questions, and next thing you know, you've got a pile of games in your hand.
I thought James was working there at one point, because every time I turned around, he was still beyond talking to him.
I did seem to spend most of my time there.
I was there for about half an hour just chatting to him.
James was there, and then Dylan came and barged Jebs out of the way, and Craig left his stall and went to the toilet. I thought it was just the James and Dylan show.
I should have went there then. He could have got some good deals. But yeah, he's a good guy, old Craig. But he does know what to sell.
He needs to sort his phone out, and he needs to fix it. He needs to get his glasses better because his eyesight was shot.
Well, he had his glasses with him, but he just didn't put them on.
The lens had broke or something, he told me. The lens had popped out or something.
Yeah, I think one of the screws was missing in his lens, so he only had one. Yeah.
I sent him money on PayPal, and I'm like, "You need to just double check that's come through to you." He's like, "I can't. My phone's knackered." So you have to let Eddie or somebody know if there's an issue.
Yeah. Did you get anything off him, Russ? Or
no. He had some 8-bit stuff to have a look at and some Master System stuff, but no, I got to see him at the end because I met him again when they did the first one in 2019. So. We didn't buy anything off him then. I was feeling I must be immune to people buying stuff from him. Everybody else seems to do so, and I don't.
Paul never reacted to the comment I put on the screen earlier, so we put it up again for him. Which then was replied with this one. What's football?
He's a Kelly fan, so yeah, he definitely doesn't know what football is.
Yeah.
And he's Scottish.
Yeah.
Well, there is that.
Well, yeah. So, moving on for the games, we're on to Russ.
Yep. I've probably got 1 more after this one, so I'll do. I don't know what Paul just said there. I'll do the 2 Master System games I picked up as well, which is nice because I always like to some really nice condition ones as well, which is great. And these all tick my usual boxes. They've got the hang tabs, they've got a decent condition manual. So the first one I'm going to show you is a game I'm very familiar with, which is Vigilante. It's side-scrolling beat 'em up. But yeah, we got the manual, the cartridge in the right way in case Stu watches his back, 'cause I know he likes to check on these things. And yeah, it's just in all-round good condition. Really, really nice. Nice strong hang tab on the top there. So that was £8, which I thought was pretty good. Again, I saw it priced a little bit more elsewhere, and I don't think it's probably in good condition. I did see one cheaper than this, but it looked like it'd been basically pulled out of a canal, so I didn't bother with it. And then the other one I picked up, this actually has got the Sega sticker on the front. Someone's been really imaginative with it. They stuck it on the puck, which is really clever, because usually it's not stuck on the side. And this is, as you can see, it says Slapshot. It's an ice hockey game. And again, hang tab on the top, which is good. And again, nice condition manual, nice condition cartridge, which I think puts me pretty close to 100 boxed Master System games now. And most of those have got manuals and they're complete. So, as I said when I started doing this about 18 months ago, it's just nice to have a collection where everything is there. You know, decent nick, decent boxes, manuals, whatever. One collection amongst my selection of tat that is actually a complete collection, which is going to be quite nice. So I won't get a full set. I'm not going to be like a few people going for the entire Master System stuff, but it's just nice to have a really decent collection. Everything is as it should be, complete and meets my requirements. So,
how many games are on Master System, Russ?
It's 200. I thought it's close to 269 or 239. I know someone. I can't remember. The channel put a video out the other day. Was it Retro Rewind? I think.
Yeah. I think it's 269.
And he's got a complete PAL set, including all the really obscure Portuguese ones or something now. So I know Stu's done a couple of videos about picking up this really obscure one, which he paid a lot of money for, about 300 quid, I think it was. So
some Smurfs game, wasn't it?
No, not Smurfs game. This was something completely different. The Smurfs one's an expensive one. That's the most well-known one. But there was another one which apparently Retro Collect put on their website as part of the PAL set. So if you want to complete one, you got to go and find it. And hardly any copies ever come up. I think Stu had a repro, and he actually found an original, and it cost him close to 300 quid. So yeah, it's an expensive business to get into. I'll never get there, but it's just nice to have a decent number of games in a very good condition. So,
what do you call that behind you? That's a decent number of games in very good condition.
Well, yeah, it's also got the word tat attached to it.
We've also seen your PS2 collection. I'd swap the Wii. I know it's the wall of Wii, but you've got a lot of PS2 games.
Yeah, but they're mostly rubbish. I think I offended our friend Generation Pixel when I said if I needed to get rid of stuff, the PlayStation 2 stuff would go because it's the least important to me, and I think that offended him slightly. But then again, I went through that. I thought, which PS2 games would I get rid of? And I was like, no, I'll keep that one. And eventually, I'll probably end up with like 200 I'll keep for some reason. So,
yeah, not too bad. Some Master System games.
Yep. Master System.
Yeah, not them Master System guys, eh? No one likes them. What about
It's
the
a Master System. It's a Master System.
It's a Master System. It's always a Master.
Yeah,
Master System.
Master System.
Master System.
Oh God, we're not doing that, are we?
Yeah, they whack it, yeah.
Right. Moving on quickly before we lose loads of people because they loved it. More green spines, Rob?
Cases, you mean?
Ooh.
First of all, does this count as a pickup?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Eddie
go on that.
Pebble, somebody forced some stickers upon me. But so I picked up 3 when I was only trying to take 1, but never mind. Oh no, it's covering up the email address. Stay there.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah.
But unfortunately, Eddie, like Dana, didn't bring any 360, so I was unable to buy anything from the two of them. And Craig's here again. I managed to resist, although he had some very pricey Japanese shmups, which I would love to have taken, but I didn't have that sort of money. Anyway, we'll chuck in some more green cases. I went to one stall and picked up these 2. Ninja Gaiden 3 and Earth Defense Force 2017, which if you've never played any of these are absolute batshit crazy and they're a lot of fun, I think, anyway. That one was 6, as you can see. I think the other one was a £5. So I did the old, we do both for 10, and that was the only time I did any of that all day, to be honest with you. And the lady said yes, so yeah, got those 2 for a tenner. And then I did manage to actually get something off Console Passion. And yeah, well, I discussed the funny story behind this one. Is obviously I've been to a few London game markets. Didn't go to the last one, but the last like 3 or 4 I've been to, I swear I picked this game up every time, turned it round, looked at the price, and went, "Nope, that's above its value." And because it's been so long, this game's value has actually crept up to like 12 to 15 quid. And the one thing I've noticed about them is they never really review their prices. So once it gets priced, it stays at that price. I mean, I did really well out of Crash Time 2 at one London gaming market because it was like 15 quid under price because the price had shot up. But yeah, no, I picked that up for a tenner, so it was nice to get that one done as well. And that leaves me with a couple of games for the last round. And my favourite piece, I think, actually, which isn't even that expensive and I've already got, but there's a story behind why. We'll get to that last round.
Sounds good. Can't wait. So, moving on to our good friend James, who I'd like to say is our first time on this channel.
Yes, thank you, Al.
Thank you for coming on.
No worries.
That's all you're getting.
My whole plan at the event was not to spend anything, really. I went looking for cheap PSP games. And the plan was all going well until I got to Craig's stall. And unfortunately, it went out the window at that point. He very, very kindly gifted me this to start with, which is it's kind of a Japanese guidebook to Sega Rally. It's quite thick. It's all in Japanese, obviously, but you can see the pictures, and it's giving you all like the lines for around the corners and stuff like that. Really cool item. So I've chuffed with that to start with.
Do you read Japanese?
Unfortunately not. It's something I've always wanted to do, but I've never got round to actually trying to do it.
I think Phoebe Chicken needed that earlier in the year.
Speaking to Basubi, it's not an easy language to learn for an English person because it's so difficult.
That's what's always put me off, really. But it would be really helpful in my instance. Then the next thing I got was Space Raiders on the Japanese GameCube. Now, this I've never seen this Japanese before. It's actually, you can get it PAL, but it's not. It's a different name. It's is it Space Invaders Extreme? I think that's
no. It's Space Invaders Invasion Day or something like that.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, well, that's the Japanese version anyway. But I thought it was really cool. I've never seen it before.
It's the first game to be made after a bag of crisps as well, by the looks of it.
A bag of crisps?
Yeah, Space Raiders. Remember Space Raiders?
Oh, yes. That must be why they changed the name. God, yeah, I forgot them. Right, the next one I've got is Samurai Showdown 3 on the Neo Geo CD. I've picked this up a few times and put it back because I couldn't remember if I'd got it or not. But I took a chance and luckily I hadn't. So, chuffed to get that. And then we've got another PS1 Japanese. We've got Arkanoid Returns.
Oh, nice.
I think this is Japanese exclusive. As you can see, it looks an enhanced version of Arkanoid. I've not tried it, so I don't know, but there's a few different modes according to the back of the box. So, quite looking forward to that because I used to love the original on the Spectrum.
It's one of them games you don't even need to have instructions for or anything. You just know what you're doing with Arkanoid.
Well, exactly. The language isn't a problem with that. Is that anybody can play that. And then the last one, the last one for this bit, I've got Monaco GP, which is on the Sega Ages label. And there's quite a lot of these. There's 20 odd of these. I wished I'd bought them at the time because a lot of these go for big money now. Because they released it PAL, but it's a compilation on PAL, the Sega Classics collection. I think there's 8 or 9 games on it. But
yes,
they're all
right,
individual they're all individual in Japan. And like I say, there's 20. It might even be 30. But there's lots of them are like 100 quid plus now. So I wished I'd bought them new back at the time because they were like 20 or 30 quid each then. So yeah, it's like a modernised version of the original Monaco GP. I think that one might be on the PAL collection pack. I'm not sure. I've got another 3, but I'll save them if we've got another round to come.
Yeah, sounds good.
It is on that one, James.
That's the one, yeah.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, I've got that as well.
So we got Columns, Outrun, Golden Axe, Virtua Racing, Monaco Grand Prix, Fancy Zone, Bonanza Brothers, and Space Harrier.
Yeah, all the ones I've got singularly Japanese are on that actually. I was looking at the Virtua Fighter one on Japanese Allen store, but when I spent my money with Craig, I had to leave that.
I'm hoping you're going to show the Outrun 2016 in Japanese one he had sitting on his store in the next round.
Who's this Craig you're on about?
Yeah.
Well, I've got 3 left to come out, so it might be there.
Oh, good. It's only £250. It's only nothing really, is it?
Nick had a couple of games on his stall that were over £1,000.
Yeah, he did. Just sitting in the middle as well. It was quite
I
shocking.
know.
And it's
Just like
it's
very
such
trustworthy.
amazing stuff on Craig's store.
Right, he has some. So when Craig was at Leeds, we met Craig out when he sold those Resident Evil
Yeah, the
guns. He got the guy. He didn't think the guy was going to come back. The guy had to go out and get cash because you couldn't get signal in the hotel, and they didn't offer you free Wi-Fi either. And so he couldn't pay him PayPal, so he had to go out and get the cash to pay him. Those guns looked immense. Yeah, so much nice stuff on his stall.
Yeah, he's got such obscure stuff that you've never seen before as well. It's just incredible.
You want to go to his lockup?
Yeah, I know. Eddie and Dylan were saying, it's just mind blowing.
It's just weird though, because you go through all these boxes and you're like, oh, this is nice. And he's like, oh, that's mine. And he's like, give it 6 months and they'll sell it. But Alex has sneaked in. Good to see you, Alex. And Dylan's late to the party as always. Good to see you anyway, Dylan. Right. I have 2 things left. They both come from Craig. So this may take me a while to show both of these. But we'll get on with it. So you lot can all have a rest for a bit. So I was just over with Craig, chatting to him for ages, and he's like, oh, you're selling up, ain't you? I went, well, there is the odd few bits that I still buy and collect for. And he's like, oh, what are you collecting? I went, well, I still like my shooters. I said, especially for the Switch. Well, that was it then. Craig's ears just popped up. My hands were full of like all these. He was pulling down. There was one he showed me. It was like 300 quid. I'm like, yeah, it's a bit too much for me at the moment, Craig. I don't want to pay that much. But he did have a fair bit of money off me because he did sell me 2 collector's editions for the Switch, both shooters. So I wasn't going to buy this originally, but then when he gave me the price on it, I thought I'll buy both of these games individually anyway. It's going to cost me about the same, so I might as well buy the collector's edition. Have both of them on that, and it is Cotton.
Oh, nice.
Cotton 1 and Cotton 2 and Cotton whatever the other one is.
Guardian
Boomerang.
Force.
Magic Night Dreams Boomerang and Magic Night Dreams Cotton 2. So, and the game inside is actually still sealed, but he's opened up the rest of it, so we can have a look what's in there. So, just to give you an idea without getting all the glare everywhere. Sorry about the glare, guys.
You got to look the other way while you're doing it.
Oh yeah, I need to look at the camera over there. But yeah, I do like my shooters, and never actually played Cotton, so it was one I wanted. So it comes in this lovely big box, which you open up. So we have the game in it, which is still sealed. So that will be getting played at some point. But what you also have in here, being a collector's edition, is a CD, and I think every single collector just keeps these sealed. No one ever plays the original soundtrack, do they? They literally just. I've got like loads of games that are open with soundtracks in it, and every one of them, the soundtrack is still sealed.
You probably find most of them on Spotify.
Yeah, and this is still sealed as well. But we're going to crack it open and look what's in there. Because I want to have a look. Oh, there's loads in here. Slide that out of there. Make sure I put all this back afterwards. So first of all, you get a nice little art book style thing. I do like Japanese games come like this. They show you like how they design the sort of things. Guessing that's levels.
Well, you bent it now, so it's going to be 20 quid less.
Yeah.
Give you 50p for it.
It's just I can't read any of it. It's all in Japanese. But I'm telling you, I reckon it tells you more about like each level and stuff. Which is quite nice here. James will appreciate these. It's actually got 2 spines.
Oh, nice.
So again, can't read a word of it. All in Japanese. But they're nice to see. What we got here? Or there's another one, third one, whatever this is.
I like
That's
arcade
the
kits
third
in there.
game.
Is there a third game on it then? Is this one of the other? Is there another game?
Yeah, Guardian Force is like a bonus game.
Oh,
Well, you've already sent a soundtrack for it, so
well, I don't read things, you know that. We've got
They're all Saturn games, originally.
Well, I wouldn't know because I haven't got a Japanese Saturn, so.
Daft question, given that's all in Japanese,
Yeah.
is the Switch game in Japanese or is it a
It's-
game?
No, it's probably in Japanese. It's
Yeah,
a Japanese game, so.
You
So
can
my
normally
next
change the language.
My next question then is the Switch region free, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that's why I was asking.
But with the shooters, I've got a couple of Japanese shooters already, and you don't need to know Japanese to play shooters.
No, I wasn't asking that. I was
Just-
asking whether it was eventually getting to the point where is the Switch region free.
Oh, yeah, it is. So then we've got a bonus game. I'm hoping that the game names are going to be in English because I won't know what game to play. But and then this weird bit of white cardboard.
Al,
Yeah.
get an app on your phone that translates Japanese. That's what I do when I'm playing mine. And I need to read the menus. I hold my phone up to the screen.
I'll have
he
to
won't
try
be able
that.
to read them.
I'll still get it wrong.
Google Lens will do that for you. It's not on your iPhone though.
So there's a debate on this one of how you pronounce it. So I think it's an S. Paul reckons it's a C. I'm going for Vassara.
No,
You-
it looks like an S now.
Vasara.
Vasara.
I'd go Vasara.
Veruca.
And this gives you a great idea of the game. Look at that. You get a lot from that.
There you go.
Lucky-
Eddie's confirmed. It's an S.
Lucky enough, it's still there. You go. Yeah, Eddie has said it there.
Vasara.
So you get absolutely fantastic artwork on these big collectors, especially the Japanese ones. But what have we got in this one then? So the only thing that's sealed in it, as I said, is the soundtrack. always sealed.
It sounds
Does
like a
anybody
Japanese.
actually listen to soundtracks in games? It's always like, oh wow, it comes with a soundtrack. Goes in the case and never gets played.
No,
It's like every soundtrack I've got in every game has never been played, but I'm amazed and fascinated it's in there.
yeah, it's nice to
It's
have one.
great.
Right, we have got a little coaster.
See, Vasara sounds like a Japanese thrush treatment.
We've got some postcards. Forgot to say this is actually a limited run game as well.
I hope you weren't going to do an unboxing video because you're ruining it.
Nah. I've got some big box games up there which I should open and do unboxing videos of because I actually want to play them, and they're still sealed. As
Sure.
always, a lovely art book.
I want a video of this Ring Fit game getting played.
Yeah. So what
However,
you
that's the video we don't want to see.
I do like the old black and white drawings. They look really nice in art books, but there is some nice coloured ones in here as well. So, they got like the different characters, little pages on them.
What are the characters called, El?
We've got
I've got work in the morning.
Yasuke, and we've got
Suki.
Oda, no
Cologne? Yeah.
no
No
butter.
Batata.
We've got Hori, Hyde Massa,
Giddy Massa.
Niwara, Mega Hyde.
Nigga Hede.
You can't say that.
Naga Hede, sorry.
Yeah, I'll give up. What else we got? Oh, we got I can't get it out of the box. We've got some stickers. Everyone loves some stickers.
It's all out of one box.
Yeah, it's a very deep box. We've got a massive poster. I'm gonna have to get back for this one anyway.
So there's a lot of them clown cars where the clowns just keep coming out. But, you know.
Look at that. Lovely, that is.
What are you going to do with it, though? At least Rob's going to put his poster up.
No, it'll stay in the box.
Yeah, but that's from mine's not from £100 box set.
Well, there is that, yeah.
Yeah. And you get the game, which actually has a manual in it as well. So this has got 3 games on it. I won't tell you what they are. They're all called Vasara. I have no idea what the actual Japanese name for them is in between, but they're vertical shooters. And I watched some gameplay of it, and they actually looked really good. So that's what made me buy it. So who knows? After this stream, I might give it a little play. But yeah, that is what I got from Craig's here again. I'll put all that back in a second while someone else has their go. So yeah, I won't tell you what I paid for it, but he did me a really, really good deal. I worked out that one of them was like the price I paid for both of them, so it was good. Eddie apparently likes a deep box. But yeah, while I put all this away, I'll pass it over to you, Paul.
Well, it's going to be a short one because it's only 2 games.
Well, don't take it back. I've got to put a lot of stuff away.
Well, in fact, actually, I'm going to go back to showing another game because I remember where I bought it from now. Where did I put it? There it is.
Don't buy them any time.
So when I went to Tootie's stall, he said, "Oh, I brought all this green spine stuff for you," and he pointed a lot of games out to me. Like, I've got that. And I went round to Rob's side of the stall, and I picked up Cabela's Dangerous Hunts from Rob. I remember now. That's where that came from. But anyway, just to show that I don't just do green spines, I went back to Stu's stall after a few rounds, and I was talking to Stu, and I had a look through his NES, and I saw 2 games, and I was just interested in them, just based on the names more than anything, because they're unboxed. I don't do Nintendo cardboard. And the first one was Shadowgate. I know nothing about the games. I didn't even bother looking at what the gameplay was like. It might be absolutely awful. But I was just interested because of the name, and the artwork has a gremlin firing a bloody tail out of the kind of label. I quite like the look of it. It wasn't expensive. So I thought I'll just pick that up. And then the other one that I got, and the artwork on here, you can't really see anything, was The Adventure of Lolo 2. Now, I don't even know if there is an Adventure of Lolo or however you want to say it. But not PAL. Fair enough. It's in one of these plastic things. I don't think it's an official Nintendo one because it doesn't have any of the Nintendo branding on it. That wasn't why I picked it up. I just this is the 3rd time I've been to Stu's stall and picked up a NES. Second time I've been to Stu's stall and picked up a NES game, and not knowing anything about them. The last time I picked up a Steniax, something like that it's called, and into Ross has put a comment in there. Yes, he did pass on what he was meant to. I just didn't want to put that in this pickups video. I'm gonna actually show that and give it its own video because I think it's quite large and needs me to set it up and actually do a video with it. So that'll probably be a New Year video, to be fair.
I look forward to that one.
But yeah, that's it. That's everything I picked up. But I picked up some retro.
Good timing.
Yeah. Did you feel long enough for you to put your stuff away?
It has a PAL A release.
I don't. Is that Australia? I've no idea.
I think they. I don't know, PAL A. Does it? Apparently it does. Didn't come out in the UK then. It was either Aussie or German then. But yeah. So, I was going to make a joke to Craig's here again, but I pulled away from it. But it relates to that comment. But we saved that for another time, maybe when we're not live. So, on to you, Ross.
Yeah, well, this is the last one I've got. I mean, it's not. Well, it is a pickup of sorts. It's actually a gift, which wasn't meant to be a gift originally. It sort of started off as a pickup and ended up being a gift. And when the lads arrived on the Sunday morning, they always like to have a look round. And Rob hadn't seen the room before, so it was the first time for him. And he was going through my 360 stuff, and there's a couple of games he found there. And I said, "Oh, I'll have it," and he said, "Oh no, I'm got a manual. I have to find a manual for it." What was that ice hockey game that you're after, Rob?
NHL 11, I think, was just one I randomly mentioned I was missing.
Yeah, it's right. So I was scanning through my stuff yesterday and cataloguing it all. I actually found a copy. I've actually had a copy of an NHL 11, fully complete. So you could have had that if I found it. But anyway, Rob picked something up which he thought he needed, but he didn't. So he very kindly gave it to me. And you know, when people send me stuff and give me stuff like this, I know people look at it, it's a bit of plastic and whatever, but I will always look at this and think, you know, a memory of a really great day, because it was a good day. It was a fantastic day. First of all, I met Rob. So Rob gave me a copy of MotoGP 13, which he bought as a double mistakenly. And I will treasure that, because that will just remind me of what a great day we had, you know, all four of us, but also meeting Rob for the very, very first time. And so thank you for that, Rob. I know it was a mistake, and
That's right.
I did try.
Yeah, it's one I was referencing at the beginning where I literally just grabbed 2 games off Stu. It's lucky you done me such a deal, because I picked up 2 I didn't need it, so it didn't really matter because of the price you done them for. So
yeah, I was desperately trying to find your stuff, and there was somebody said, "Oh, you have to submit yourself." "Oh, I'll get it for you." No, it's all right. So you know, I did try and give you something back for it, but no, I was see it on the shelf or in my collection. I think I'll remember that day. So thank you very much, Rob.
No worries.
That's it. That's all I've got.
So before you move on, I'll just to put Ross's mind at ease. The pickup from Ross is here.
Yeah, my boots are a lot emptier now, and my car ain't weighed down as much. Getting more miles per gallon out of it.
I was going to say, yeah, you have our petrol money now. Just for the extra weight.
We'll call that the train fare.
Yeah. So, on to Rob.
Yeah, just a couple more. This isn't my favourite one. This is the very last purchase of the day, which was a little bit of an episode, wasn't it? Yeah, because at Vintage Gamer, he had loads of stuff on the actual stall at one end, and then I found this box at the other end, right at the end of the day, underneath the stall, and I pulled out the whole pile, and the only one that I needed was this, and it was only £1. But I only had a £20 note, but he took it, and unfortunately, it robbed him of loads of his change. But yeah, I'm in an iron because it's a promo copy. But like Al said, if it turns up, at least without a manual, and it ain't a promo copy, at least you've got one. It's a very good condition manual as well. Plus, also, I know from an Xbox 360 collectors group on Facebook, there are some mental people out there that actually want to do the full set, but in promos. So whereas this might only be £1, you know, as a normal release, I think it's only 150 in CX. You got people like might pay like, I don't know, a tenner for this because it's a promo copy, and they can't find, there's not many promo copies of this out there. So so I grabbed that. I thought, I mean, it's a placeholder if I'm really that bothered about it. But what is this? Is it a strategy game? I don't even know what type of game it is.
Yeah, it's a strategy.
Oh yeah,
game.
there you go. Look, says so there. Best strategy game, E3 2011. I'm not much of a strategy game fan, so it probably do me, to be honest with you. So it's got a bit of a story behind it as well, and when it's got a bit of a story behind it, I like to keep them. So probably won't change it now. But no, my favourite pickup is actually a game I've already got, but I knew I'd already got it when I picked it up, by the way. So I went to one store and I saw this, but I saw it spine out. And when I saw it spine out, I went straight away, because I've brought the other one here. That's not the power release, because I've got that, and as you can already, the spine is much nicer. Straight away, the spine is much nicer. And they very cleverly put the price over where it says NTSC down there. But I knew straight away from seeing the cover art, which again I think is better. And that's just by looking at that side. And so it's only £3, and obviously the achievement hunt mean, because some games that were released in multiple territories have what we call stackable achievement lists. I do have a list on my phone of stackable stuff, and this isn't one. But I thought, you know what? This is such nice artwork. So I'm going to pick it up, and I'm just going to actually have it on display sort of on top of the units like that. But it's got a reversible cover, because as you'll see on here, it says something about, look, English and Japanese text. But I haven't turned it around yet, and I think I'm going to turn it around because the cover art on this side is different yet again. And I might do this off camera quick. Like he says quickly, half hour later. But the cover art on the other side, I think, is even nicer, to be honest with you. And if we can get that in there. And I might have it this way round and on top of the shelf. They're totally different. There we go. Like that.
Oh, wow.
Quite like that.
So I like that
I
one.
was gonna say, and obviously instead it's got Japanese on the spine, I suppose, and on the back. Just everything about it. In my pile, let's have a look at the back of this one, see if it's any different. Yeah, completely different all round again. Oh, it's gone to white in this, so it's not as nice as the spine, but yeah, just again they do much better cover art, don't they? Not 99.9% of the time, don't they? So, well, Ken's pulling the same pose I've just noticed there. So it's good. So is Guile actually, but.
It's slightly more zoomed in, though, isn't it? So it looks,
Sorry?
So it's slightly more zoomed in, so it looks a lot cleaner, I would say. The Japanese.
Yeah, different. Do you know what? That's
Couple
very
more
much
characters as
similar,
well.
except they've swapped out Adon here for Cammy.
Yeah.
I like the one on the right. I like where you got the Street Fighter 4 logo towards the bottom, and there's that like tinge around the outside of the super in the background.
Yeah,
That
there's
is-
less,
Yeah.
That
It's
is
less
much nicer. Yeah.
it's more vivid and there's less blurriness to it.
Yeah.
The Japanese artwork is so much more nicer, Rob, you're right.
So yeah, I was gonna say for only £3, do you know? Yeah, absolute star. I like that. I'm having that. So yeah, it's just a display piece, but definitely one I thought was worth grabbing. And I think that's everything from me. As Eddie's sticker's fallen over, but pop that bag up. There we go.
So I've got to advertise Eddie's. Yeah, that is the NTSC J version. Apparently, I'm cheaper than Royal Mail.
But the funny thing is, when I was picking up and looking at it, the guy was like, he looked a little bit worried and was like, oh, I hope he doesn't notice. So I made a point of literally picking it up, opening it up, flexing it, and looking inside at the reversible cover and things like that. And and even looking under his sticker and then deciding to buy it. So just to let the guy to know, you don't have to hide things. Sometimes people want these things. So that was quite funny as well. But yeah, no, I love the artwork. So, and for £3, had to.
My mouse is. Ross must be slightly behind because he's only just seen the front cover. But yeah. So, James, to round it off, unless anyone else has got anything they haven't shown yet.
Right then.
All on to James.
So back to Craig's stall. I've thinned out a lot of my Master System stuff, and I've just kept stuff that I had back when I was a kid, really. But there was one I was missing that I've never been able to find in good condition. It always seems knackered or too expensive. And Craig had got one that said was in very good condition, and it was. It's absolutely mint. And I picked up Space Harrier.
You mentioned
It's
you picked
just-
that up. Yeah.
It's like brand new, honestly. The tab is nice and strong. It's still got the sticker on.
You got your cartridge around the wrong way. You upset Junior.
This is my preferred way. I am anti-Tootie in this sense.
Your comments.
That is the right way round for me. So we've got Space Harrier. We've completed the childhood Master System set.
Brilliant.
And then the next one I've picked up. I've been looking at this on eBay, funnily enough, the week before. And then I saw it on Craig's stall. Any idea what that one says, Al?
So it says PlayStation. Then say
It's the blue bit there I'm on about.
You've got Japanese.
nah.
And,
Tell me the
well,
cover, I might know what it
I'll
is.
tell you. It's Gradius Guiding.
I love the way it
Which-
says shoot. I love the way it says shooting game at the bottom, just in case you weren't sure what it was.
Yeah, you know what it is then, don't you? Yeah.
I should have known really. I've seen this pile that you had at Craig's when I was standing behind his stall.
Yeah, so it's an exclusive game to the PlayStation. This is not an arcade game. So I'm looking forward to trying that. The only other way you can get it, I think, is on the PSP as well. But it's on the Gradius collection for the PSP. And then the last one. This is a game I've wanted for absolutely years, but I never thought I'd own it. Purely because of what it goes for. And Craig had got one, which I'd looked at and thought, well, it's just out the question. And we got talking about it, and he offered it me at an amazing price. And it was, I couldn't refuse it. I had to buy it. There you go, Al.
Oh, I did buy it. He's been trying to sell that for about 3 years.
I'd never thought I'd own this. It's amazing.
I didn't even know you picked it up. I only said that as a joke at the beginning.
Oh no. Well, I didn't want to disappoint you, Al. I bought it just for you.
Craig will be happy. He's taken that all over the country with him.
Well, it's never going anywhere now. It's stopping with me. And it comes with a soundtrack as well.
Look at that. It's not a sealed soundtrack as well.
But it's not sealed. I can listen to this.
What's, what is special about that, James? Just out of...
I'm not sure there's that much special about it, other than it's quite difficult to get. There aren't that many about.
Okay.
It's more or less the same as Coast to Coast, which you can get on the PAL PS2.
Yeah.
But I think this is supposed to have some enhancements. What they are, I'm not exactly sure. But for whatever reason, it's quite expensive when you look on eBay to buy it. That's why I've never bought it. I did buy a repro of it because I thought I'll never be able to own the proper one. But I'm just chuffed to have it. It's amazing. Never thought I'd get it.
I actually joked with Craig that he was never going to sell that because I've seen it at every event since 2019.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, I've relieved him of it. Then he doesn't need to carry it around anymore.
That's what I like to see.
He was pleased by that. He was telling me about how much weighted down his car was.
I don't know how he got it all in his car, to be honest. All the stuff he got in his stall.
God knows he has so much. So apparently, Craig is a great guy.
He definitely is.
And
100% agree.
80%, and he gets all his stock half price. But yeah, well, I'm glad that someone finally bought it because I know I literally I made a joke as soon as I see it. I went, "You still got that game?" He went, "Yeah." I went, "Put the price up." He goes, "Well, it has been 3 years."
But
So,
the
yeah.
price he'd got it priced up at was cheap, really,
I know,
compared with eBay prices.
not as cheap as it was 3 years ago though.
Well, maybe not.
But I'm sure he sorted you out anyway. He's a great guy.
Oh, he definitely did. Hats off. He was brilliant. It was the first time I'd met Craig, and he was amazing. I'm big fan. He's a great guy.
Unless you're Dana, because Dana can't get a price out of it.
That is true. Now, to be fair, Dana was going to see Craig when I was with Dana to buy this particular item,
But Eddie had already
and
bought
it went tits up, and Eddie bought it apparently. Yeah.
He told him to put it to one side for him, and he went back, and Eddie had already bought it, which is quite a funny story. So yeah, that is all of our pickups. Has anyone got any final thoughts on the gaming market? Any suggestions to people, advice, reasons why they want to go?
Well, can I just? I'll just nip in first, and I'll let everybody else come
We'll
in.
give you the full screen. It's all you.
Oh, thank you very much. It's like running the podcast again. Can I just say? I mean, we had a fabulous day. We all got bits and pieces and whatever, and everybody else who went there was doing exactly the same. But what made it really special was the company that we were in that day. You know, not just Paul, Eddie, Paul, Alan, Rob, who came to my house, and we all came together. But it's everybody else we met there. James, obviously, Dale, John Retro Kit, Lewis, Jimmy Retro, Craig, Eddie, Dylan, Tootie, Rob, Dana, Liam, my mate Angela, who I always bump into when she's there, and I wish her the best of luck with the move to Liverpool shortly. That's what makes these things great when you meet up with people who are, you know well, or you're meeting for the first time, we've known and never actually met, and go around and do these events. And it's great to do it in massive company like that, and it really made the event. I met Trevor as well, on the outside. Just a great day, and it was good to get some games. Yeah, that's it. But the whole social thing was just fantastic, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And a massive thank you to everybody. You guys especially for being there on that day, and it just made it more memorable and really enjoyable, and yeah, just a great day out, and I'm glad we did it. So,
and a good comment from Eddie there.
You don't have to spend at all. No, not at all. I mean, I didn't buy anything till after about an hour and a half of being there, and I didn't really want to buy that much anyway. I'll be honest and say, yeah, it was just a great day out with people I enjoy spending time with. Whether they're selling or whether they're buying or whether we're just going for a walk around and a bit of a day out. That's what it's all about.
It is. Arcade club next year. They're always the fun ones, because you just end up most of the time in the bar chatting.
That's probably doing me good, because I don't want people seeing me playing games in public. It's bad enough when I put videos up about it, let alone actually stand there and playing them.
Well, I went to Blackpool Arcade Club, and I think I played one game because me and Liam was having a little competition on Time Pilot, and that was all I played.
It's nice, it's Blackpool Arcade Club, but when you compare it to Bury, it's nothing.
I wouldn't mind going back to Leeds again, because I've only been there the once.
I can't judge Leeds. I've never been. I think it's on the White Rose estate, isn't it? It's where the White Rose shopping centre is.
It's a bit out of the way, but it weren't too bad. But Bury is the main one. So, anyone else? Any thoughts?
No, I mean, I'll just jump in and say pretty much replicate what Bear said. Personal thank you to you as well. I know you said, we're going to Birmingham on the Saturday, to hit a few shops up. Do you want to come with us? So it was very kind of you to invite us. And I know I deflected and said, the gaming market's the day after, but I mean, like Bear said, it's, I was actually really impressed and surprised at just how many people were there. I mean, there's a lot of stalling and obviously a lot of people there, meeting people for the first time, doing me old, surprising a few people who haven't seen my face, But yeah, I mean, well done Al also for keeping it quiet for what was a good 3 weeks or so, wasn't it? Obviously.
I had no idea.
I was going to drop hints but I didn't. I thought, you know what? No, don't even do that. Don't even do that. But yeah, like you said, it's it's just a cracking day out, and bought a few games. So bought a few blind boxes for the 3 people that are interested in my blind bags videos. If you all happen to be watching, I've got a bit of a nuts idea which is going to take months to put together, and I actually managed to add a few to that as well. But no, as I say, no, it's all about the day out. Fantastic to meet everybody here, everybody at the event, the stallers. I spent half an hour, I think, chatting to Lewis at one point, the poor sod. But no, fantastic. In fact, Craig's here again. Hadn't actually seen me by far. I'd actually met Craig's here again at Doncaster and hadn't realised I'd met him. So it was finally proper to introduce him and thank him to a figure that he gave to Al to give to me at London Game Market as well. I remember to say thank you for that, But yeah, no, fantastic all round. So I'll leave it at that and let anyone else say something if they want to.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was good to meet, people that I hadn't met before. Or, I mean, Rob being one of them. We were on a wrestling stream once a month, You know, until recently, until this month, even. But it was good to meet him. Met John, Retro Kit. Retro Kit sent me a massive bundle of wrestling figures. I picked 3 Hasbro wrestling figures up at the gaming market as well. I haven't showed them because they're separate from this. I wouldn't have as big a collection of Hasbro wrestling figures if it wasn't for buying off of, getting him off of John and then buying off of Liam, to be fair. And it's just a shame Liam was working, he couldn't be there. But, it was great to meet a lot of people. And I've never met James, and it was a very, very good day. It's always a worthwhile day. And like Eddie said, you don't have to spend a lot when you're there. I don't think we ate when we were there at all.
No, we didn't.
Didn't even eat
There is no cafe there either, but it's a good day. It always is to just meet people, and it's four quid to get in is a decent amount for an early bird ticket, or £2 for the on the door. Getting to meet people like Trevor again, and it's always fun to see Stu and Rob and Dana. It was a great day. I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the next thing that we do, as I always do. I didn't discover this and this kind of community type thing or these events until when everybody went into lockdown, and now I know they exist. I want to try and hit as many as I can.
Yeah, I say we didn't eat, but we did have a big bag of chocolate to share on the way back, didn't we, Rob?
Yeah, that was on the way back, but yeah, we kind of. I'd eaten nothing all day, so it was like I can't remember the last time I went a whole 12 hours without even snacking.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to be there all night because it took you 10 minutes to get off the drive, if I remember.
Well, I put my postcode in to take me back to my flat, and it went all around the houses. And I said, whenever I used to drive back from my sister's, it always did that to me. And I said, put the postcode of the airport in, and that will take you the direct route, and then you just nip off to the side. So after we pissed about trying to get my postcode in, we then had to piss about finding the airport postcode on my phone again and then putting that in. So yeah, that was quite funny. So you were standing there, it's like, just go, honestly, we'll be a while.
Me and Clay were stood on the doorstep. It was freezing cold. We were to wave them off, and like Al just goes, "You better go back inside. We might be here a while."
You stood there for quite a while waiting for me to leave. I was putting my music on and everything when answering messages.
Well, it's not the same. You don't wave somebody off, isn't it?
I think we drove back past the event on the way home as well.
I only really need the sat nav to get out of your area, and then I'm fine when I'm on the M6 and know where I'm going. Then, but
God knows what way it took us. It literally took us through Birmingham.
I don't know what you were doing.
The way normally takes me. I think it was dodging traffic. Your thing.
Yeah, it needs updating. It's a bit weird, but
the route originally wanted to take would have taken about 3 hours, I think, instead of 2.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be the same if I didn't get lost going somewhere, because look at when we went to Lee.
At least you didn't break down. That's all I'm happy about.
That's it, yeah.
Did everybody get home to watch the football? That is the question.
No, I missed it all. Well, I kind of see the first half.
I had the first half on my phone in the car. I was home for the second half, but I think you was home for about extra for the last injured minutes in the second half, weren't you?
I would have been if I didn't go and get a kebab. But to be fair, they had it on in the kebab shop, so I was watching it in there.
I ordered Domino's as soon as I got in.
I was starving. I'm like, I need to go and get some food, and I weren't waiting for a delivery to come, so I just went to the local kebab house.
What about you, James? What are your memories of the day?
Well, I'm going to sound like a broken record, really, but much the same as all you guys have said. I mean, it was just great catching up with everybody again, meeting all you guys again, meeting Rob for the first time, meeting Dale for the first time. Had a decent chat with Dale. Retro Kit, like you said, and Stu and Tootie and Dana. I'd only seen Dana the day before in the shop, actually. Who else did I meet? Oh, and Craig for the first time. So it was absolutely brilliant day, I thought. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and like you guys have already said, you know, for £4 for the early bird to get in, I mean, it's just great value for money, in my opinion.
Yep. Always is.
You know, you can't. What can you get for £4? Nothing. You know. Brilliant.
Not more.
It's all going up. Dana's just put in here for me and Rob, but for anyone else who's watching, the date for the first London gaming market is in March. He hasn't said what date, but
No. Funny enough, I've got an email from Replay Events saying that it's on the 19th, I believe.
19th of March. There you go. Get it in your diaries now.
I think the first Donny one's been announced as well for early February.
Yes,
February 5th.
5th, yeah.
Yeah, for some reason, all of us. I never used to get emails from Replay Events. I've had 2 this year, which is more than I've ever had in the last 3 years I've had the app. But yeah,
You should be able to get there as long as you don't plan on going by train.
When is it? March the what?
March 19th.
Are you planning it around your strikes, Alan?
I'm working, but I've got
You might not be working now. You never know.
yeah, I might not. Yeah,
You
but
keep going on.
but then there's a problem if I ain't working because we can't get there.
Very true.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a problem now, is it? Oh, right, okay, there we go. Yeah,
Only when I need to use it.
yeah, that's it.
We'd have been a bit screwed for Birmingham, considering we've got the train there.
Well, yeah,
Anyway, James, did you get the train or did you drive?
No, I drove in. I parked in the city centre and walked it to the custard factory.
If we couldn't get back, we knew where James was anyway.
It was a decent. I must have walked a mile to get to the event from the car park.
where'd you park?
Well, the bloody town's still cut off, isn't it? You can't. I was going to park right by it, and the road was shut. So I ended up parking on the multi-storey where Toys R Us used to be.
That's miles away.
I know.
So that's the other end of the high street.
I know,
Bloody
exactly.
hell.
I'd say it must have been a mile.
Wow.
So I had some exercise anyway.
I was going to say you've done all right out of it.
Yeah. My steps were up that day.
Blimey. You sure, Eddie? You'll get nosebleed. You'll get nosebleed coming this far down south.
Yeah, Eddie, why do the London gaming market? I've got to warn you though, Eddie. I think the parking is a bit expensive when the event is. Just to let you know.
Yeah, you'd be as well waiting for Donny, surely.
Then again, Leeds was bad because Lewis told us it was about £30, weren't it?
Oh, Leeds is a horrible place. Like, it's horrible to drive in. It's horrible to park in. I mean, I park generally when I'm going into Leeds. I park at the park and ride, so it's easy for me. But for somebody who's stalling out there, it's not going to be easy.
No,
Yeah, I've only been to Leeds once and I didn't like it at all. The parking was terrible.
we went in by train, so it was all right.
Yeah, it's I mean, if they do the next Leeds event, it'll be all right.
There's a certain irony when you say that, Al. There really is.
As long as they're running, it's fine. I had my tour guide Sean with me as well, because I didn't know how I was going.
I must be honest. When I was organising, telling you what time the trains were, I was constantly checking the night before to make sure they weren't cancelled or anything like that.
So Ross,
They were both delayed.
I was going to say, on the day, were any of the trains on time that we got?
No, they weren't. The first train of the day was 2 minutes late. How did you manage to make the first train of the day 2 minutes late? Honestly.
Easy.
Yeah,
Trade secrets, obviously.
Like him working on them, that's how.
That's it. And then the one coming back was 2 minutes late, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah.
I must admit, I know everybody, I know I make a point, I always in shorts, but even for me, that evening when we were leaving, it was pretty cold walking back.
It was. It hadn't been that cold since down here. I don't know what it was.
It's warmed up here as well.
Yeah, but it was bitterly cold walking back from the market to the station. It was freezing. And then, as I stood on the doorstep, seeing you, and then Alan Rob off. It was absolutely perishing there. So
That's why I told you to go in.
yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, I think we're done then. That was great meeting you all again.
You
We
too?
must do this again
I'm
sometime.
sure, Paul, I'm sure you've met James.
Yeah, I met Paul at Arcade Club.
Yeah, Paul was a bit
yeah.
drunk then.
Yeah, that was that the week of my birthday where I was.
Yeah, you was hammered.
Yeah. That's what I don't remember, James.
I don't know when it was, but I've definitely seen Paul at Arcade Club.
It'd have been June time. It would have been the weekend of my birthday, I think.
Yeah, it was in the summer, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd been out on the Saturday, and then the arcade club was the Sunday, and I was just topping up.
Oh right, fair enough.
Just before we go, Al, what time did you send that message on Sunday morning asking about how warm was it in the hall that day?
About 4:30.
Yeah, and that's what Dana responded. He said, "How the hell should we know? We can't get in there till 8:45 or something."
Well, no, because I thought like you'd done it last year or whatever. So I thought you might have known. I'm surprised none of you triggered on while I was up that early.
Who knows how long it gets to go from anywhere down south? Well, I figured you were up that early because you said you were in Luton. So I thought, well, maybe he's because I experienced driving into Luton. It wasn't nice.
But no, I had to go pick someone up.
Now we know.
One thing I will say is I've established that one thing, if people meet YouTubers in person, most people are shorter than they actually look on camera.
I must admit, John, when I met John Retchka, he went, I thought you'd be taller. And I said, oh, sorry.
I think, Rob, you're one of the few people I've met who are actually, I didn't think you were either taller or shorter than I'd expected. You sort of, I don't know what it was, but I don't know, maybe because you're not on camera all the time.
I'll mark that one down. I'm normally disappointed.
Yeah, I thought Retro Kit would have been taller than he is.
Yeah, it's strange that people say, "Oh, you look smaller on the telly."
I thought everyone was dwarfs. I was expecting everyone to have hunchbacks when they've been gaming for so long. Oh well, right. Thank you everyone for watching. We've had near on 20 to 25 people watching this whole stream throughout. So
Wow.
obviously I had nothing better to do. We must have been better than the football. I don't even know what the score was, but yeah.
6-1 Portugal.
6-1.
Oh,
Yeah, they were 4-0 up at half time.
Oh, see,
So,
there you go.
I told you this, Rob, earlier. I said that the good teams are putting their markers down in this round. I tell you.
Like Spain.
Spain didn't do very well today.
Yeah, but to Morocco's credit, Morocco have been playing really well, and I want surprise in the slightest when that happened.
Morocco should have scored about 3 goals before full time.
They were brilliant against Belgium. They fully deserve to be where they are.
What's even funnier is their centre back scored a hat trick.
What, Pepe?
Ronaldo didn't start.
Ronaldo. I've just seen Ronaldo didn't come on until the 74th minute, so I'll let him off. But yeah.
Oh, before we go, can I do a quick plug?
All yours.
Okay. We got TMB on Sunday. Those of you may have realised that we weren't actually on this week because of the football, but we're doing a special stream on Sunday, and we're talking about some of our favourite games of the year, pickups of the year, memories, bits and pieces. So we'll be on my channel, the Retro Bear, 8 o'clock this Sunday. Everybody's welcome to come and join the chat, ask questions, make comments, join in, whatever, and hopefully we'll all see you then.
Might actually be able to get this one live.
I'm actually off on Sunday, so I can watch it.
Lovely. Yeah. So yeah, 8 o'clock, and we'll see how that goes.
Well, there you go then. Make sure you're all there. Retro Bear's channel, get yourself over there. There will be a link to his channel down below when I finally sort it out after this.
One day, yeah.
You'll probably get a little tag afterwards that I'll put you in it, but yeah. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. And if no one else got anything to say, I think that's the end. All good. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.